Hi viewers. We are meeting again for another video. Of course, today is not a market, so we'll take a topic which is related to markets, but it is not exactly the analysis of today's action in the market. So this video is all about to tell you viewers that what are the risks which are now staring the market. So there are some development which have happened after a market close, especially in the global markets, which we'll discuss, and also how they will affect our Indian stock markets on Monday. So first thing is when the US market were closing yesterday night, the SGS Nifty was showing around minus 150 or minus 120 points down, which means we'll have a gap down on Monday. Should happen on Monday. A gap down should happen on Monday. Uh, this is taking into account that the Dow futures during our market close were negative and Nasdaq was positive. A similar kind of session has happened in US. So we are mild negative on Dow Jones, and we are mild positive on S&P and Nasdaq. This was exactly what the market action or the futures were telling, US market futures were telling when the market was getting closed of Indian stock markets. So then the question is, why do GIS Nifty is still signaling minus 120 points gap down? So this means that the action of Friday, where we opened down and we kept on moving downwards, there are full chances that we repeat that kind of session again on Monday. Of course, this time there will be a lot of buying from every level which we slip. So for example, 24,500 if we go down, we'll see a lot of buying and there will be a minor bounce back again. Might be that we go to 24,350 and we'll see again a bounce back, because this time the traders are confident that the buying should remain or there are good supports at around 24,500 and 24,350. But be very careful, buyers, viewers. This time I think FIs are probably making a mood of one more round of selling, and it should happen very aggressively in next week or so. See, the reason why I'm saying this is, first of all, the bond yields after our market close, and when the US markets were closing around 130 or 230 in the night, it was inching towards 4.4, which is very high. If the bond yields in the US is high, it always makes sense for the bigger investors to take out their money from risky assets like stock markets and invest in the bond market. There you get a very assured return, and since the inflation is in US is around 3% odd, still you are getting a positive return out of the, even if you beat inflation, you are getting a real positive return from the bond yields. That is one big negative which has happened. A week before we were inching towards 4.1, but now it has gone to 4.4. Due to this, the dollar index is continuously moving upwards, and now the dollar index have crossed 107. These are critical levels. So once the currency is down, rupee is continuously hitting bottoms. It is always forming all-time lows. We are inching towards 85 now. So due to the currency depreciation of UP and strong dollar, it does not make sense for any foreign player to enter into emerging markets, because then the currency loss is there. This is another big risk which FIs will face because of this dollar index and bond yields going higher. So they don't have any advantage of investing in Indian stock market, because anyways if they earn some profit out of Indian markets, when they are converting into dollar, there will be no much returns. We also saw a statement from Donald Trump as soon as the market closed that we will not hesitate in using the nuclear weapons on Iran if they don't close their nuclear programs. This is another threat. It might be just a threat, because anyways he is not assumed chair, so he can't take decisions. But this is where the Donald Trump has slightly signaled, which is slightly negative, because we all are hoping that once the Donald Trump takes charge or he sits on his chair, all the wars which are going on should come to a close. But he has given a slightly contradictory statement, and which is slightly, it is not making me comfortable that why did he say that statement. So that's another partial risk. It has not played out as of now, but this is what is slightly worrying me. Israel has started bombing Syria, so now they are preparing for, placing their puppet government, which is being backed by Turkey, and Turkey which is being supported by Iran. So that means they want, after the current regime dethronement, I think Iran and Turkey wants to put their government into place, and that is why we are seeing some bombings happening from Iran to Syria. Now, if Russia and Iran keeps quiet, then there is no issue at all. But if they also started putting their power and their weapons, then it can create a mess. This is another small risk, not played out as of now, but a potential risk. Now, what is happening to Indian stock markets? See, ultimately, why did we fall from 26,300 odd to 23,300, around 3,000 points cut? Because the earnings were weak of Q2, and that is why the multiples which are given to Indian stock market did not make sense. Now the problem is the Q3 also looking good? I have also spoken in my previous videos that Q3 will either be equal to Q2 in terms of earnings, or it can be slightly degraded, because the numbers which are coming from November, December onwards, especially December onwards, are showing some green shoots. But when they show green shoots and into conversion into earnings, it still takes 1 or 2 quarters. So we might be 1 or 2 quarters away in terms of good earning from the companies, and also we'll have a lower base in those quarters. But for Q3 of this financial year, FY25, is still not looking very promising. So considering all this, it does not make sense for deploying too much of money into the markets, and not a foreign player, after seeing the bond yields and the dollar index and the depreciation of rupee, to deploy a lot of money into the markets. Now, what has happened after this big selling? The retailers have also got trapped. Their money is trapped in some of the stocks which are either negative, and you know retailers, they will never try to book their losses and release their money. So a lot of chunk is stuck in the stock which are on the negative side of retailers. So we don't expect too much of money which is coming from too much of money which can come from retailers. Also, the SIP data which I spoke in my previous videos, and the mutual fund money, it is actually coming into mid cap and small caps. So the FIS selling which will happen in index, Nifty, Bank Nifty and the Nifty stocks, the mutual fund will not be able to deploy their money, because the money which has been mandated by the retailer to mutual funds is in small caps and mid caps. So FIs will have they will not be able to get an easy exit. Easy exit, what I mean is that when they start selling their stock, they will not be buyers too much, and we might see some free fall in the markets. Also, FIs, because there's a festival time from them, Christmas and New Year, they will start going to the holidays after 15 December, and will be operating in thin volumes. US market, if you see from last week or so, in fact the last week of Dow Jones was the weakest week in almost 10 years. I think not 10 years, sorry, it was post 2020, which is the COVID year. It was the longest streak of negative bias on the week-on-week basis. So Dow Jones have also slipped from 45,000 odd levels to around, less than 44,000, around 43,900 or so. So Dow Jones have also started topping out. We are still seeing some buying in the Nasdaq stocks, but beware, Nasdaq stocks, there is a concentrated buying. So there is only 7 big stocks which you talk about, Nvidia, Microsoft, Apple, Facebook. These are the concentrated stocks where we are seeing a buying, and which is taking the index up. But there is no buying, or there is no big rally in the broader market. So US is also trying to top out. Another risk which is glaring in front of us is that we all are expecting a trade war and a currency war as Donald Trump takes chair on 20th of January, and nobody knows how the markets will behave, what are the announcements Trump will make during this time, and everybody is just keeping their fingers crossed as to what will happen. So that is another risk which is looming, and that risk can only be removed when 20 January, when the Donald Trump takes charge. And see, he has made some announcements, but we never know what is under the carpet. He might stop at the announcement itself, which he has done during the election rallies and all, but he might also have something in his pocket which can come as a surprise when he takes chair. And nobody knows of that, and nobody's aware of it. So this is another risk which we can foresee from the US markets in terms of Donald Trump taking chair. China will also equally respond to whatever sanctions which US will make, and what will also affect Indian markets is that if the sanctions are very high from US markets or US President Donald Trump, then China will be forced to dump some of their materials into emerging markets like India. So we'll get started getting cheaper steel and other aluminium and other finished products which China is exporting to, otherwise exporting to US, but they'll start dumping in India, which will affect our companies' earnings and profits, because ultimately a dumping will happen here at a cheaper cost, and our materials will become they will become irrelevant in terms of cost. That is another risk which is looming forward, which is looking ahead of us. So there is a currency risk, there is a Trump risk, there is bond yields being higher. We are also seeing a rupee depreciation, and we are seeing the dollar index inching upwards. And there are geopolitical risks in terms of Iran, which is in Syria, which is slightly popped up in last 1 or 2 days, and of course the dumping of China and how the trade war will take place. And along with it, the bigger risk of earnings promise, which is still not looking good because the inflation numbers are still looking very high. That means the money is not getting into the hands of consumers, the spending is still not happening, and also that the earnings cannot take a substantial jump from Q2. It will be a slow and steady progress. So considering all this, these are the risks which the market will have to witness if we march forwards. So considering what the HGX Nifty has shown on Friday night, and if we get a gap down, traders, I would suggest you not to take buying position this time on Monday. Wait for 1 or 2 days and see how exactly the market is forming the bottom, where exactly we see the selling of FIIs getting exhausted, and then we should take a charge. If the market remains strong on Monday and we are marching towards 24,800 on a closing basis, then market is seeing something which is beyond our expectation. They are seeing some green shoots, or they have some knowledge or some information which we don't have, and which is why they will take the markets upwards, which we should enjoy. But I'll still suggest 2 things on Monday. One, as I told in last 2 days also, book your profits in small caps and mid caps, and try to invest in other assets like gold and silver, which is looking to me as a good heaven as of now. And for a change, don't chase index stocks on Monday. We might see a big concentrated selling on Monday in the Nifty stocks and Bank Nifty stocks. So be careful on Monday, and whatever decisions you're taking. So I've listed down a lot of risks which are staring in front of us. Take into cognizance and then take a call. So be very careful on Monday, and let's see how the market pans out on Monday. We'll of course analyze everything post the market on Monday. Till that time, be careful and continue to enjoy the weekend. Thank you.